I encourage you, when the time comes, vote. Have the conversation. See, it's Black History Month. And hopefully there will soon be no need for such a thing. That's right, as a black dude sitting up here with dreadlocks saying, hopefully there will be no need for Black History Month because America will celebrate the accomplishments of all of its children. And there will be no need for So, I got a grandmother, Mary Mallory, who is 97 years old. And she would tell me stories of sitting on her grandfather's lap, who was a slave. That's right, I'm the 4th generation removed from slavery. It's not a history book. This is my grandmother. Listening to stories from her grandfather. It is Black History Month. My father was part of the first troop in the United States Navy to be desegregated. He told me a story about, does anybody remember way back when? I don't, because I grew up in D.C., but there used to be an amusement park in Baltimore. What was it called? Okay. So there was an amusement park in Baltimore, and my father and his troop had gone, and all those guys had gone there. And you know, when it's really hot, they take their hats and they turn them down to kind of keep the sun off, especially when they got the close haircuts and everything, you know? So, at this time, and I'm assuming it's that park, I don't want to say it if it isn't, but black people weren't allowed in that park. So it is that this right park? Okay. So black folks weren't allowed in that park. Well, this is not necessarily the most respectful term in the world, but my father was what we call high yellow. My father was very, very fair-skinned. So much so that his mother and his aunt used to go downtown in the 40s because they could pass and they could go in and try on clothes, because at that point downtown, black people couldn't go into the stores and try on clothes. You had to go, and if you were allowed to shop there at all, you had to buy off the rack. And that's why when you see those suits in the 40s and everybody's all tailored and looking good, it's because everybody bought their suit big and they went to somebody in the neighborhood and had it tailored to fit. That's why it looked so great. It wasn't because they bought it off the rack like that. They had to buy it bigger because you couldn't buy it small because you couldn't bring it back because they thought nobody would want to wear it after a black person tried it on. This is the kind of stuff that kids don't know. People don't know about Dr. Charles Drew. Dr. Charles Drew was the man that invented the process of plasma. Well, to be able to get blood and store it to be used to save someone else's life down the line. Dr. Charles Drew died in the parking lot of the White Hospital after a car accident because they did not allow him the transfusion. How ironic. How many lives have been saved by blood transfusion? Mine has. And his wasn't. Because black people weren't allowed to be served in that hospital. So the only reason I say that is because at this crazy time in politics and everybody taking stabs, I mean, we can call it politics, you can call it show business, that's what it seems like to me, more than anything else. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in a candidate, but I'm saying just be careful. You know, everything that Donald Trump says isn't garbage. He's a great businessman. And we do need somebody that's got a sense of business. But let me also say this, that we've been all around the world, and don't think everybody likes us. They don't. Don't think that our troops aren't in danger over there. They are, no matter where they are. I'm telling you, we haven't been anywhere where people is like, oh, Americans! No, it's not like that, not in the movies. So we just want to be careful that our politicians and the people we elect to represent us aren't going to get out there and piss even more people off and then have to send more of our young men and women somewhere else just so that we can be sitting in a room like this talking about it with that kind of freedom.
Tell them.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I don't care who's running the country. I really don't care. As long as you're looking out for all of us. It's getting old to see the top 2 and 3% of the richest people in the world monopolize 95% of the wealth. There's got to be something wrong with that. Democratic, Republican, Independent, whatever. I'm saying this is the richest country in the world. No one should starve here. That's crazy. We're giving away extra food tonight, and there's people that can't get food. That's crazy to me. So, I don't say this to offend anyone, but I say this to honor the man who went to that park, snuck in knowing he wasn't supposed to be there, got hot, took his hat off to wipe his brow and forgot where he was, and in his uniform, during Korea, they threw him out of the park. And then they put the flag on top of his box after he was cremated. I know, because I got it sitting at home on my mantelpiece right now. And I don't say that to say anything bad about my country, don't get me wrong. It's more in saying, look how far we have come. Look how far we have come. That's the first thing my father would say. But let's not stagnate and think that we don't have anywhere to go. Because we do. And if we don't get there together, we are not going to get there. So make some noise and do whatever it is you got to do to get these politicians, all of them, including, Martin O'Malley, for those of you who know, is a friend of mine, but he and I would say the same thing about him as I would say about anybody else. Make noise to all of them, everyone, so that they know that if nothing else, we are paying attention this time. We are paying attention. So, to honor the dude that still believed in his country right to the end, this is the Black National Anthem. Sorry. I was raised better than that. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing arise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.